صلى الله وسلم على محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم تسليما كثيرا بعد. So we recited from Surah Nuh alayhi salam, and the ayah we read from is the Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is asking us a question, and this is a rhetorical question. When Allah poses a question in the Quran, He does not expect an answer from anyone, but He wants people to ponder and reflect and contemplate. مَا لَكُمْ لَا تَرْجُونَ لِلَّهِ وَقَارًا. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is asking this big question, that what's wrong with you human beings? You do not regard your Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the manner that He should be regarded. You do not revere Him in the manner that He should be revered. You don't respect Him in the manner that He deserves. مَا لَكُمْ لَا تَرْجُونَ لِلَّهِ وَقَارًا. Why don't you dignify the Almighty Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? The question is, how do we dignify Allah? Is it only by making tasbih of Allah? Some people have misunderstood the ayah and they think the only way to dignify the Almighty is to make dhikr, or loud dhikr. Making dhikr, it's rewarding, but making loud dhikr is debatable, and it's far away from the Sunnah of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So what does it mean to dignify Allah? The only way to dignify Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is to abstain from sins. Sins and these vices, the temptations, will come closer and closer to us as human beings. And the only thing that will make you distance yourself away from the sins as they get closer to you is your fear of Allah. And that fear of Allah is knowing how big Allah is in your heart. Only those who have understood the value of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, they are able to stay away from haram. They're able to lower the gaze when a woman walks past by them. They are able to control the tongue when they are about to slander someone or when they are about to backbite. They are able to control themselves from riba and interest when a need arises. But the one that does not revere Allah, all the sins becomes easy for him. وَلِلَّهِ الْمَثَلُ الْأَعْلَى. We'll make a very simple example. You've got two children in a house. One respects his dad and his mom. When the father walks in, he makes sure that if he was a little bit naughty, he's going to be on his spot, he's going to stand on his toes. And you've got another child in the same house who doesn't care. And he, back chats you. He answers you back. Now, between these two children, which child from these two children will think twice before they do anything that will upset the father? Obviously, the one that respects the dad. So the same applies to us. When we have the understanding that my Allah is watching me, when we understand that the presence of Allah does not allow me to perpetrate His orders, that's when we are going to be able to abstain from haram. When the sin exposed itself in front of Yusuf alayhi salam, it was that waqar. مَا لَكُمْ لَا تَرْجُونَ لِلَّهِ وَقَارًا. The waqar, the grandeur of Allah, the greatness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is what distanced Yusuf alayhi salam from that sin. وَلَقَدْ هَمَّتْ بِهِ وَهَمَّ بِهَا لَوْلَا أَنْ رَأَى بُرْهَانَ رَبِّهِ. He is a human being. Besides that, he's a messenger, but he's got human instinct. So he was inclined towards the temptation. But what was the word that he uttered? What was the word that he uttered? قال معاذ الله. The greatness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was enough to make Yusuf alayhi salam to walk away from Zulaykha. When you have that fear of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and you feel the presence of Allah, then you know that this Allah, I'm going to meet him one day and he's going to ask me of my actions. That is enough for a human being to make a U-turn from any sin that becomes easier for a person. But where is the greatness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the heart of a person that perpetrates one sin today and tomorrow he goes and looks for another sin, and thereafter he goes and commits a major sin, a sin upon a sin, and nothing crosses through his mind that he is only digging a big hole for himself, a hole that he will not be able to get out of if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala does not give him the ability to do so. This life that we're living in, my dear brothers and sisters in Islam, it's a life where we have struggles with bad habits, struggles with toxic environments, struggle every day. We are struggling. We want to become better. The only way to succeed is to make Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala the priority in our life. My ego, my desires means nothing. My desires will be fulfilled in Jannah. In dunya, I can never fulfill the desires. Those people that thought that drugs will give them the ecstasy and the happiness, they took the drug and they had the temporary pleasure, but thereafter they increased the dose and that only became more problematic in their lives. And those who thought that they will find contentment and happiness in a haram and a strange relationship, that only dig a bigger hole in their lives. People are committing suicide because of their wrong choices that they make, and these wrong choices are based, most of the times are based on egos, desires, and inclination towards haram. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make us from those who think bigger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala than their own egos. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us the realization of the ma'iyya, the presence of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the one that Musa alayhi salam always thought about, inna ma'iya rabbi, wherever I am, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is watching me. I'm under the surveillance of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us from those, when we leave this world, inshallah, we'll leave with tawbah and istighfar, and with kalima la ilaha illallah Muhammadur Rasulullah. Wa salli wa sallam wa baraka ala Muhammad. Jazakumullah khairan.